A single penny just sold for over $200,000. It came out of a jar of old change a man inherited from his father, a jar he almost handed to charity, thinking it was worth maybe $40. He had no idea what he was holding. And that is the secret of this entire world. The coins worth a fortune do not look like treasure. They look like pocket change. They look like the jar of loose coins sitting on your shelf right now. The dealers know this, and they are counting on one thing. They are counting on you never flipping the coin over to read what is actually there. Today, I am showing you 10 coins that could be hiding in your spare change in 2026, counting up to one ordinary penny that sold for over $1 million. Number 7 is the one almost every household in America already owns. And before we finish, I will show you the single mistake that destroys a valuable coin in seconds. Now, you are probably thinking your change is nothing special. Stop. That assumption is exactly what they are counting on, and it is why these coins keep getting spent and sold for a fraction of their worth. So, go grab any old coins you have, a jar, a drawer, a collection from a relative, and keep them next to you. Tell me in the comments which dates you find, and I will tell you if you are holding one of these. Let us start at number 10. Number 10 is the easiest money on this list, and you almost certainly already have one. Right now, pick up any dime, quarter, or half-dollar near you and look at the date. If it was minted in 1964 or earlier, that coin is not mostly copper and nickel like the change in your pocket today. It is 90% real silver. Here is the 5-second test. Turn the coin on its edge. A modern quarter shows a thin copper stripe running all the way around it. The silver ones are solid, bright metal through and through with no stripe at all. Each is worth several times its face value in silver alone, and the rarer dates climb into serious money. People spend these every single day, handing over real silver for the price of a quarter, never knowing the difference. But the next coin is one your grandfather almost certainly kept in a jar, and just 3 dates separate a few cents from a few $1,000s. Number 9. The wheat penny. Copper pennies with 2 stalks of wheat curving up the back instead of the Lincoln Memorial. If you have an old coin jar, pull every wheat penny out of it right now, because 3 of them are worth a small fortune. Look under the date and at the very bottom of the back. A 1909 penny with a tiny S under the date and the letters VDB at the bottom. A 1914 penny with a small d for Denver, and a 1922 penny with no mint mark at all, where there should be one. A nice 1909 has sold for well over $1,000. The coin shop owner knows these 3 dates by heart, and he is hoping you do not, so he can buy your whole jar as nothing but old pennies. Number 8 looks even more worthless. It looks broken. It is not. Number 8 is the 3-legged buffalo. In the 1930s, America minted the buffalo nickel, the thick coin with a Native American on the front and a bison on the back. Find one and look closely at the buffalo's front legs. On almost all of them, the animal stands on 4 solid legs. But in 1937, at the Denver Mint, a worker over-polished a die and accidentally ground a leg clean off. The result is a nickel where the buffalo stands on 3 legs, with just a faint floating line where the front leg should be. To an untrained eye, it looks like wear or damage. To a collector, that single mistake is worth several hundred to a couple of $1,000s. It is the rule that runs through this entire list. The flaw is the fortune, and number 7 is the one almost every household in America already owns. Number 7, the Mercury dime. For nearly 30 years, America made a beautiful little silver dime with a winged head on the front, so often mistaken for the god Mercury that the name simply stuck. Almost every American family has a few in a drawer somewhere, which is exactly why this one matters. Pick one up and check two things: the date and the small mint mark on the back. The 1916 dime struck in Denver, marked with a small D, is one of the rarest regular coins in American history. Also look for a 1942 dime where the 2 was stamped faintly over a 1, an error you can catch under a magnifying glass. The finest examples have crossed $30,000 at auction. Almost nobody who owns one has ever stopped to look. Number 6 hides the same way. Except this time the clue disappears the longer the coin is held. Number 6 is the Standing Liberty Quarter, showing Lady Liberty standing in a doorway, holding a shield. The very first ones, from 1916, were struck in tiny numbers, and they are worth thousands, even when worn nearly smooth. There is also a 1918 quarter from San Francisco, where an 8 is stamped over a 7, another tiny error that turns an ordinary coin into a 4 or 5 figure prize. Here is the catch that costs people the most. On a worn coin, the date is the very first thing to disappear, so the owner assumes it is just a beat-up silver quarter and sells it for a couple of dollars. The date is the entire game, and if you are starting to notice a pattern, you are exactly right. Number 5. The 1932 Washington quarter, the very first year of the quarter we still carry today. Two versions are quietly valuable: the 1932 with a small d for Denver and the one with a small s for San Francisco. Flip any 1932 quarter over and look just below the eagle. That is where the mint mark hides, so small that most people never even check. Collectors tell stories of these turning up in ordinary bankrolls, scooped up for face value by someone who simply knew to look. A good one sells from a couple $100s into the low thousands. Because here is the pattern. Every coin on this list got passed over for the same reason. The thing that makes it valuable is nearly invisible unless you know precisely where to look. A letter the size of a grain of rice. A number stamped faintly over another number. A flaw you would swear was just damage. The dealers built their whole business on you not knowing. From here, the coins only get bigger. Number 4 is the one that fools even experienced collectors, because at a glance, it just looks like a printing mistake. It is. Number 4 is the doubled die penny. On certain pennies, an error stamped the design twice, slightly out of line, so the lettering looks doubled, blurry, almost shaken. Look closely with just your naked eye at the word Liberty and the date on a 1955 penny, a 1969 penny from San Francisco, or a 1972 penny. No magnifying glass is needed. The real ones are obvious once you know. The 1969 double die has sold for tens of thousands of dollars, and yet this is the one even seasoned collectors miss, because at a glance, it just looks like a smudged, low-quality penny you would never look at twice. It is exactly the coin a dealer is thrilled when you fail to recognize. Number 3 is the one that, if your grandfather owned it, you are going to want to sit down for. Number 3. The Morgan Silver Dollar. These big, heavy silver dollars from the late 1800s are among the most collected coins in all of America. But one of them is the undisputed king. The 1893 Morgan, struck in San Francisco, marked with a small S on the back just beneath the eagle. Even a worn, beaten example can be worth several $1,000s, and a pristine one has sold for hundreds of thousands. If a relative ever left you a box or a tube of old silver dollars, set everything else aside and search for that one date first. Number 2 keeps us in silver, with another tiny error hiding in a coin millions of people once carried to war. Number 2, the wartime nickel. During the Second World War, nickel was urgently needed for the war effort, so for a few years, America made its 5-cent coins partly out of silver. Spot them by one detail: a large mint mark sitting high above the dome of the building on the back, far bigger and higher than on any normal nickel. Every one is worth several times its face value in silver. But the real prize is a 1943 wartime nickel, where a 3 is stamped over a 2, a doubling error that can push a single 5-cent coin into the thousands for the right example. Millions were made, spent, and forgotten in drawers across the country. Which finally brings us to number 1. But before you dig through that jar, you need to hear this first. Because this is the mistake that quietly destroys more coin value than anything else on earth. When most people find an old, dirty coin, their very first instinct is to clean it, to make it shine. Never do this. To a collector, the dark toning and original surface on an old coin are not dirt. They are proof that the coin is genuine and untouched. The moment you polish it, scrub it, or dip it in cleaner, you strip that surface away forever, and you can wipe out half, sometimes 90%, of the value in just a few seconds. A dealer spots a cleaned coin instantly under the light, because the tiny hairline scratches give it away every single time. A worn, ugly, original coin is worth far more than the same coin polished to a shine. So whatever you do, leave it exactly as you found it. So here is what to do instead. First, never clean a single coin, no matter how tempting. Second, get a cheap magnifying glass and check 3 things on every old coin: the date, the small mint mark letter, and any doubling in the lettering. Third, when a date matches this list, look that exact coin up online, but filter for sold listings, not the active ones. Active listings are only what hopeful sellers are asking. Sold listings are what real buyers actually paid, and those are the only numbers that matter. Fourth, if you think you have something valuable, get it professionally graded and sealed before you sell. And never accept the first offer a coin shop gives you. Their job is to buy low. Yours is to know exactly what you have before you ever walk through their door. Which brings us finally to number 1. The 1943 copper penny. In 1943, America was at war, and copper was needed for ammunition. So for that one single year, the mint made pennies out of steel instead. They look silver gray, and a magnet sticks right to them. But by accident, a tiny number of leftover copper blanks were struck with the 1943 date and slipped out into circulation. A genuine 1943 copper penny is one of the most valuable coins in American history. One has sold for over $1 million. Here is your final 5-second test. Find any 1943 penny and hold a magnet to it. If it sticks, it is steel and it is common. But if your 1943 penny is copper brown and the magnet simply will not stick to it, stop everything, because you may be holding a life-changing coin in your hand. That man at the very start, with his father's jar of worthless old change, this is the world he stumbled into. The coins were always valuable. They only lost their worth the moment they passed from someone who knew exactly what they were into the hands of someone who did not. The dealers, the pickers, the people who do this for a living, they are not waiting for you to get smart. They are counting on the opposite. So go check your change, read the dates, flip every old coin over. Because the only thing standing between you and what is hiding in that jar is knowing where to look. Welcome to the club.